Hi guys, Jonathan here with Farmer's Friend, and today I'm in Greenwich, Connecticut at Versailles Farms with Steve, and we're going to be giving you all a tour of their beautiful operation here. So Steve, tell us a little bit about Versailles Farms.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, welcome to the farm. We're a market garden operation. We're in 15 acres. What you're looking at here is one of the 15 acres, and here we grow all our vegetables. We have 52 crops. We're growing primarily on raised beds, classic 30-inch wide bed, 12-inch aisles, 50-foot lengths. We have 170 beds now. And again, we're trying to grow different kinds of crops for our customer base. Our customer base are right now exclusively country clubs and 2 food banks.
Okay.
But we're regenerative growers. We're trying to grow for plant vitality, nutrient density, and one of our goals here is to amplify photosynthesis, to convert sunlight into plant sugars at a rate much greater than we would if we didn't do what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we're growing in biologically active soil, and we're using lots of different sprays, nutritional sprays to grow for plant vitality. We don't use any kind of synthetics, anything to kill pests or fungus or disease or anything.
Cool. And before we get started with the tour, you have a couple other things with some flowers. Are those being grown for commercial use and sales?
Yeah.
And then the mushrooms as well. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So we have a cut flower business. We grow dahlia, peonies, zinnia, lisianthus, gladiolas, and lavender for the cut flower business. That's a real business. We also grow mushrooms. We grow the shiitake mushroom. We think we're the largest grower of shiitakes in the state of Connecticut. We started with 10,000 logs. We're down to 2,000 now, but it's a wonderful crop, and we'll see it a little bit later in the tour.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get started.
Okay. So coming down this way, nasturtium, we interplant with dill. These are, these are beets. So we like beets, we like the greens, we like the tuber. It's nice and sweet, and it's a good storage crop too. But beets are super nutritious. They're loaded with all kinds of phytonutrients and whatnot. We love beets. And
you're doing the orange or not so much the purple ones. Like it's a little more unique, maybe easier to sell the.
Yeah, the clubs like it. On a person's plate, they'll see that gold beet.
Yeah.
And it's a great color in addition to a green on your plate and everything else. So with the chef, it's all about presentation.
Yeah, I feel like the standard red beets, people just kind of have this mental block with like the stuff in a can or what.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, they really do. So we grow a golden beet and we grow a white beet.
Okay.
And the white beet is loaded with sugar. It's really super sweet. So we like that. We also ferment.
Okay.
So we'll ferment the beets. We'll ferment the beets with a Korean recipe. The beets, and we'll put some daikon radish in there.
Yeah.
To make that, and that's half water and a little bit of sugar and some salt, and that's it.
Okay. Cool.
So here we have an arugula, which is a little bit different from some of the arugulas that you'll see on your normally it's a big leaf arugula, and this they use for fish.
Okay.
Again, we're going to see this. It has a lot of pepper notes to it.
Okay. So I would have looked at that and just thought that's overgrown arugula, but you're intentionally harvesting it at this size?
Well, we've been waiting for you guys. So between the
it did get overgrown.
It started bolting.
Yeah. Okay.
But not to worry, because we sell this to the chefs too, and they will put this on a person's plate.
Yeah.
And it's edible.
Yeah, for sure.
So
cool.
Nothing gets wasted.
It's delicious.
Isn't that good? It's so nutritious. Coming down, shallots,
parsley.
Parsley.
Yep.
Over here is a product called Salanova, which John Eves makes. It's a frise lettuce. We take it out, we core it, we put it in with our mesclun mix. The clubs love it.
Yeah. High yields on it as well.
Very high yields.
Yeah.
And fast growing. We love that. More beets. But let's look over here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Swiss chard.
Rainbow Swiss chard, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. The rainbow Swiss chard. So again, our customers use this as a bedding material for fish on the plate. Some of the vegetarians like this for lentils in Swiss chard.
Oh yeah.
It's really very, very nutritious.
Yeah.
They call this a brain food because of all the phytonutrients that are in it, that are really good for you.
It's so beautiful too.
Isn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful, vibrant purples and
the yellows. And some folks are using it to wrap little veal meatballs.
Okay.
And then they put it into a soup. It's called Kapuns from Switzerland. And it's such a versatile plant. You can't kill this plant, which is what we like it.
Yeah, it's very, very hardy.
Very hardy. So this I'm going to point out the red onions. So we try to grow everything in this geotextile. This geotextile has been a real game changer for us. It's weed suppression. It heats the soil in the spring, and it also keeps the moisture in there. And so when we take this geo up, the soil is sterile. Well, it's not sterile, but it's weed free.
Yep.
So we can plant into it. And that's what we did here with this bed of all-star lettuce. We took the geo up and we planted right into it.
Yeah.
But I can't say enough about it. As you can see, we like geotextile here.
Yeah.
We grow all of our crops pretty much.
Yeah, it not only does it keep the weeds back, but retains more moisture. And then earthworms and stuff really love getting up under there and breaking down all the organic matter. And
they really do.
Yeah.
And so our soil underneath the geo is just friable. You see all the worm castings, and it's just wonderful. So I can't say enough about it.
That's great.
Because we have such an international community here. We do a lot of Asian greens.
Is that bok choy?
This is pak choy.
Pak choy, yeah.
Yeah, pak choy. Yeah, I think the bok choy, I think the difference is the bok choys they're smaller.
Yeah, I think it's a darker green too, maybe.
And a darker green. Isn't that nice? Crunchy.
Very
moist.
Moist, yeah.
So we also have insect netting here. So I mentioned we don't use pesticides and stuff. So this insect netting we pull over. Now we pulled the insect netting off the pak choy last week, and look what happened.
Yeah, you already got some flea beetle or...
Yep, some flea beetles. And they now have an opening for it. So some things we can't protect through plant vitality, and we need to do it mechanically.
Yeah.
And that's
Well, that's an easy, simple way of doing it.
Yeah.
More red onions.
More red onions.
Are you storing those or just selling them fresh?
I sell them fresh.
Okay.
Yeah, the clubs, they go through a lot of cheeseburgers.
Okay.
Pico de gallo.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. In these beds, we're doing direct seeding.
Okay.
So we're not geotextile, no plugs. So we use a Jang seeder, a six cartridge Zhang seeder, and it's very easy. We just go up one bit and down the other. Boom, the seeds are coming in. But as you can see, we're getting a lot of weed seeds coming in here. Normally I would flame these, but I waited a little too long, and now my carrots are coming up, and I don't want to kill the carrots.
Yeah. So this is all carrots?
These three are carrots, tatsoi, bacana, Tokyo turnips.
Okay.
A lot of different. So I like to do fast germinating things, obviously.
Yes.
So that we can, we're in here. What do we got? French radishes, Tokyo turnips. Again, look at the turnips.
Yeah.
I seeded these 4 days ago, and they've germinated and they're off to the races. I'll probably harvest these in 20 days.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful, wonderful crop. Carrots that we planted back in March, they're ready to come out. This is something called bacana. Carlton. It's a Japanese spinach.
Okay.
So one of the things with spinach is that it just doesn't like the summer heat.
Okay.
But this stuff, it can handle the heat.
Looks like the flea beetles like that stuff too.
Yeah, they sure do.
Must be good.
All the Asian greens, they like.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, not good. And then here's the other Japanese spinach. It's called bacana. Be careful, it has a little dirt on it.
Never killed anybody.
Exactly. Same sort of thing. It's a little bit of a different flavor.
Yeah.
And that's, again, so we can achieve the spinach without having the bolting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen these two before.
Yeah, it's a wonderful plant. And this is tatsoi,
Tatsoi,
which you've seen. And again, we use this on our mescaline mix. So we'll harvest with the greens harvester. We'll come right through here. We'll take these leaf, and then we'll mix it right into our mescaline mix.
Okay.
But the thing is with lettuce is not very nutritious. Lettuce is more of like a transport medium for salad dressing. But,
never heard it said quite that way, but
it's true.
You're not wrong.
It's nutritionally bankrupt. It's got nothing but water,
Probably
fiber, and chlorophyll.
Any nutritional benefit that it had gets totally erased by the time you put ranch dressing on.
Exactly. With all the sugar and the nice, good stuff
Yeah.
that tastes good. But this actually adds some phytonutrients to your mescaline mix.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
and for that reason, you've had tatsoi before,
Yes.
haven't you? Yeah. So this guy, a little bit tough, but it gives some structure to the salad. Let's come into the tomato.
Yeah, I was mentioning earlier, I'll say it again, I think this is the most beautiful field tomato patch that I've seen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
I
Again,
gotta try one of these.
Yeah, please. This is called Sakura. It's a Japanese variety. And again, we spray nutritional sprays, no fungicides, no nothing. And again, it's all about the pruning too.
Yeah.
So that we're pruning up as we go along.
So you're pruning off the leaves on the bottom. Are you also pruning back to like a double leader?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We'll prune to a double leader. And after a while, when we get sick of tomatoes, we'll just
Let them go.
let them go.
So you're doing some cherries and some slicers.
We got some slicers, but what's unique about this slicer, this is the Jersey tomato. This is the Rutgers tomato. This was developed for Campbell Soup in 1935 as a flavor ideal. So they engineered the perfect sweet tart balance. It's a hybrid. It's not an heirloom, and we like it like that.
Okay.
So we know what we're getting genetically. We know what we're going to get because it is tried and true. Now they stopped growing the Jersey tomato, or otherwise called the Ramapo or the Rutgers. They stopped growing it in 1968 because tomatoes started to be grown for transportation, not for flavor.
Isn't that unfortunate?
Yeah.
Go local.
Go local because it's thin-skinned. It can't stand up to transportation.
Yeah.
But what it can stand up to is picking it and delivering it right to your kitchen.
Right across the street to
right
the
across
country
the
club.
street. Exactly. And so that's why it's
beautiful.
an ideal local tomato, and it's just delicious.
Yeah, and you're doing interplanting, companion planting of some parsley, it looks like.
Exactly. So we got parsley here. We've got orange mint there. We've got, basil in the backfield. Again, all these plants are symbiotic with the tomato.
It's great.
So because we have bees and we want to pollinate our fruits, we have a wildflower meadow. But the thing with wildflowers, bees, people think, okay, the bees are dying because colony collapse disorder or the varroa mite or something like that. No, it's not. It's because there's not enough nectar to harvest. Each pound of honey requires 2 million pollen visits. Wow. 55,000 bees doing 2 million pollen for 1 pound of honey. Wow. So where do they get that? They got to get it from the flowers. So we really need to grow our own flowers here.
Okay.
To populate the hives. Yeah. And the problem is here in the backcountry of Greenwich, everybody wants bees, but nobody wants to plant the wildflowers. They want to have a nice turf grass, but they don't want to plant the wildflowers. So we take, we put a lot of effort into growing our wildflower meadows, and it's just coming into fruition now. Yeah,
it's beautiful. And then you have your cultivated cut flowers.
Yeah, so here's our cut flower field. Again, the geo is a lifesaver. So you can see a bed without geotextile.
Yeah.
And that's and the weeds are taking over. They're robbing the flowers of nutrition. Yeah. But with the geo, it concentrates everything right here. And this particular flower is called lisianthus. It's like a rose. It's not fragrant, but it holds up longer. It's more durable than a rose, but it looks like a rose.
Yeah, and super beautiful.
It really, and super prolific too. My God, when it comes online, look out. So, all the way up here, we got zinnia growing up there, and now we just ripped out something here, and we just planted more basil there. We got lavender up there, zinnia, again, and the zinnia just doesn't stop.
Yeah, they just keep going.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just keeps going.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, they truly are.
It's great. It's neat to see more and more vegetable producers also including some flowers into the operation.
It's profitable.
It's an easy upsell, and it just adds a lot of beauty to a farm.
Sure does.
So
yeah, no,
cool.
it's great. So this is Ingrid. She's our beekeeper.
Just the beekeeper?
Just the beekeper. and head of production, vice president of morale, and also the accounting department.
Honey's my nickname.
Honey is her nickname. Exactly. So let's go down into the bunker and see how we run all the nutritional activities of the farm.
Okay.
Okay, this is how we control our nutrition in the field. We've this is all our drip irrigation. We've got 3 zones right here that are organic. 1, 2, 3. This is for the tomatoes because sometimes we use a synthetic fertilizer. And but basically we will put our stock tank, which is here. We'll put our nutritional stuff in here, and then we pump it through the dosatron. It's all on an app called HydroWise that you know, I can modulate it.
Yeah.
I can also see my my pH, my water temperature, and my electroconductivity here off of this, which reads into this, and this is how I know how much nutrient I should be giving everybody.
Okay.
And so that's, you know, pretty much how we do it. All the lines go out into the field, and again,
and then you can bypass your fertigation if you're wanting just straight water.
Exactly. Yeah, this bypass is really important too, so that, you know, so that we can bypass it, but also we want to flush our lines.
Yeah.
Get all that stuff out of the lines.
Yes. Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
Cool.
But everywhere around here, you see, you know, we run the farm from here, and we have to be super organized. So everything's on wheels, everything's on a rack, everything's labeled. And our rule here is if we don't use something in 2 years, we get rid of it.
Okay.
So we're not hanging, we're constantly
keeping things organized.
Keeping things organized, keeping things pared down so that we're only dealing with the essentials.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So
you have all your solenoids are controlled by the HydroWise?
Yep.
That's a Hunter product, isn't it?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a Hunter product, yeah. And so all the solenoids, and they're just wonderful. And, you know, I have little reminders to myself. So in this, you know, I'm doing 10 gallons a minute, and these wobblers, and by the way, this is aerial irrigation.
Okay.
So like right now for aerial, I'll feed foliarly through the aerial, but I also do for heat relief. Okay. You know, this field gets, you know, when it hits 90 degrees, I have to cool the field down. So I'll hit it with this, but I'll also hit it with some seaweed. Okay. Some seaweed and Dr. Berners is a sticker. Okay. And it really just cools things down. It gives everything a little bit of a nutritional blast.
That's a beautiful irrigation manifold.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Because we have a walk-in, we try to cool everything down. But the walk-in's anywhere from 36 to 38 degrees. But tomatoes can't handle that.
Yeah, it's too cold.
Yeah, it's way too cold. So we need to have ambient temperature. So we're down here in the bunker, and we're letting the tomatoes rebuild their sugars. If we put the tomatoes into the walk-in, boom, the sugar development stops. Yeah. And that's no fun. Okay, so let's go upstairs and look at the washing and packing area. Cool. So all the crops come in this way. Yep. They also come in through the side door here. But our first stop on the processing is the kill wash. Okay. So here we're using a product called Sanidate. Sanidate, yeah. And, you know, we want to take all the pathogens off. Even though we're growing in geotextile, we're scrupulously clean. We don't know if a bird's going to fly over and poop on the greens, and, you know, we don't want to have any pathogens. So we also have a little bit of a green, you know, bubbler. Yeah. The jacuzzi pumps. Some agitation to knock the dirt off and stuff. Knock the dirt off. And this has been wonderful. It doesn't bruise the leaf. As opposed to in Salinas, California, they have these big conveyors that these jets are spraying down on the leaf, which sometimes can bruise the leaf. Yeah. This doesn't bruise anything at all. So we'll do the kill wash, then we'll do the rinse, It's cold water rinse.
Yep.
Again, we can bubble it if we have to, but we kind of don't, but here it is. And again, knocks everything off. It's pretty clean. And from there, which you may or may not have seen before, but we, you know, we take everything
The spinners
out of here into the spinner, and voila.
Yeah. Yep.
But the nice part about our operation now is the fact that Ingrid runs the whole harvesting and packaging operation, but everything gets over here. And so before, when we were doing the farm stand, we'd have to bring the greens over here. We pack them into individual bags, put them in, and put them in the walk-in. Now, boom, right in here.
Okay.
We weigh it, we log it, and then we put it on a dolly and we move it into the walk-in.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
All one big efficient motion.
I like the stainless steel tanks. I don't see that very often. Most people just have stock tanks or something, but
yeah,
those are nice. And those look like they're, I'm just going off of the maple leaf on the front. It's probably a maple sugaring
exactly.
tank.
So, you know, we're in New England,
Yeah.
so what do they do up in Vermont and New Hampshire? They make maple syrup.
Yep.
And these tanks were, God, they were very inexpensive. They
Okay.
were almost just a little bit more than the Rubbermaid stock tanks.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Wow.
they're stainless steel.
Yeah. It's large, so it probably takes a while to fill it up.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, it does take a fair amount of time, but
Yeah.
you know, 250 gallons, and we're off to the races.
Yeah. Wow. Cool.
So, very tight little area. Let's go to the walk-in.
Yeah.
So we're not really full right now. Actually, we're sort of at a low point. But when we're harvesting and when we're full, you can't even walk in this room.
Okay.
Everything's on wheels.
Floor to ceiling stacked up.
Ceiling up to the ceiling, just pack, pack, pack. Plus the flowers. We
Yeah.
really have to keep those flowers cool.
Okay.
And we have to keep the flowers moist. For everything else, we got to take the water off it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a question of these we want uncovered, the flowers we want covered, these squash blossoms, we want to keep these.
Yeah.
So these we'll treat with kid gloves.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. So we'll mist down. This is a little restaurant trick. We mist down these paper towels, and that's how we keep the flowers fresh. So the club that wants this tomorrow, Westchester Country Club, they'll stuff this with ricotta cheese,
Okay.
and then they'll deep fry it
Okay. Wow.
for a
I bet that's good.
for a zucchini flower. Yeah, it's an Italian delicacy. So, and again, we're here in the farm. We're using a lot of restaurant style, you know, things like this Cambro tray is invaluable.
Yeah.
A lot of other stuff that we use is just really, you'll see in a commercial kitchen, which you may not see on a farm.
Yeah. That's cool.
And you've probably seen these
Oh yeah.
harvests.
I like how you have even the wheel bases for your stacks of totes. That's great.
Everything has to be on wheels.
Yeah.
The same thing, you know, here's all the fruit, and you know, I guess I could put them on, you know, a rack, but I want to keep the fruit in a separate place so I can take it out and cool things down.
Yeah.
So again, the racks, the wheels, so important.
Yeah. Cool.
Here we go. Let's go see the mushrooms and the orchard. So what we have here are our shiitake mushroom logs. These are white oak logs that we cut, and we inoculated all these logs with a special tool from Japan that first we drill a hole, and then we have our shiitake mycelium in a bucket.
Is it like, do you use a sawdust or a wood plug?
Sawdust.
Okay.
Good question. You know what you're talking about. So we use the sawdust. We have a special tool from Japan called the okuda. We have the sawdust in a little a pail. We push the tool in there and we punch it in here, and you hear a click click, and what happens is it injects the mycelium in here, and then it puts a styrofoam plug behind it.
Oh, okay.
And then
So you don't even have to wax.
No wax.
Seal them. Okay.
we tried wax in 2015, but you know, some days it got hot and all the wax melted.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
some people don't like the fact that this is a plastic or styrofoam, but it works.
It's not getting into the mushroom.
It's not getting into the mushroom. In fact, it's quite sterile. So it's, you know, it does that. But so these are white oak, and these white oak logs will last about 7 years. So we'll come in here, you know, every other week. We'll harvest. The girls will stick their hands in here, and they'll basically, we have a pair of scissors. They'll cut the mushroom, bring it out, and put it in the basket.
So you want to stack the logs loose enough to where you can reach in there and harvest pretty easily.
Yeah, that was our first mistake. We stacked the logs too tight together. But everything here is on pallets, so that we, you know, again, we're not touching the logs. Once we inoculate them and we stack them, we don't touch the logs again until they go into the mushroom graveyard.
Okay. Have you ever had any issues with invasive species, like, you know, starting to take over your logs?
Yeah. I mean, the spores are in the air.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we can see one right here. Here is
sure enough, you got some.
Yeah. Here's
stuff.
I think this is an early sign of turkey tail.
Yep.
And that's not, you know, part of the plan. But I was on some other, like, what do they call them, listservs. And, you know, the people that are growing mushrooms saying, oh, should I just spray them with Clorox? And, you know, I wrote back, I said, don't spray them with Clorox, because
you're going to kill the
shiitake now.
Yeah.
So you have to learn to coexist with that.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's, yeah.
Neat. And I imagine that the shiitake is pretty lucrative cash crop, isn't it?
Yeah, so we get $80 a pound for the dried. We get $20 a pound for the wet.
Okay.
And, you know, we sell it. That's the wholesale price.
Yeah. And once the initial log inoculation process is done, it's not a tremendous amount of work other than just harvesting, right?
That's all we do is harvest.
Yeah.
Once the inoculation is done, we harvest. It's a wonderful crop.
Yeah, so it feels like, I was talking with somebody about this recently. I feel like mushroom production is one of those things that's a relatively easy, like, additional value add to a vegetable operation, and a lot of people aren't doing it.
They're not doing it. It's a wonderful thing, because it is pure umami. It's that fifth flavor idea.
Yeah.
And not just that, but it's a brain food too.
Yeah.
It's also a stock for vegetarian. You know, we make a shiitake
meat
flour.
Supplements or
meat supplements. So you can make the burgers, but, you know, the vegetarian, you know, the vegetarian stock, what do? You don't use a chicken stock.
Yeah. Shiitakes are amazing.
It's amazing.
So more people need to grow shiitakes.
Absolutely.
That's the takeaway.
Exactly. And in Japan, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
It's everywhere.
Yes. Cool.
One other thing I'll point out to you before we go out to the orchard. This is our tree planting machine.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a tree planting plow, 3-point hitch. We put in the back of a 100 horsepower tractor. These guys fold down, and our trees go in each of these sides. We have a planter in the middle, and every 3 feet he sticks one in the ground. Well, we cut a hole in the earth going down about 3 feet, and then we put the tree in. These tires close up the hole, and then we have 2 or 3 guys walking behind, just stamping and taking the air out of the soil.
Cool.
So that's how we could plant 3,000 trees in one day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a wonderful machine. It's Phil Brown Welding out of Michigan.
Okay.
Makes it.
It's a stout piece of equipment.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Well, let's go see the apple orchard.
Great. Let's do it. So in 2012, we started growing vegetables over on the lot, 52 Locust Road, and you know, we're good at it. You know, 10 years growing them, and we've got a good client base and everything like that. But at 68 years old, my wife's 65, we said, we've got to get out of this labor-intensive business. So we work, starting in March, we work 7 days a week for 7 months straight, and then we collapse.
Yeah.
And so we want to get into more of a mechanized production, so we're not so reliant on doing things by hand. So we acquired this lot here. It's a 9-acre piece that had been completely undetected. This was completely full of trees and invasive species. People would drive here on the road and would think that there's nothing here. But I could see that it was a nice piece of land that had been farmed back as far as 1720. The house you'll see over here is the original house from 1720. It's the Clapp house, and they've got big chestnut beams inside, and they came from this this plot.
Okay.
Land records show that this was a hayfield and an orchard as far back as 1843. So then I just knew that we could grow food here.
Yeah.
And then we saw the soil. And about 3 years ago, we started getting our permits to take down all the trees. We took down about 500 trees. We grinded them all up, and that's what we're using as a mulch here. And then we decided to go, at first we were thinking, okay, let's do permaculture, a lot of different stuff. But then that means a lot more labor. And so this new tall spindle method of growing apples, like they do in northern Italy, has taken hold in New York. So the yield from this tall spindle orchard is 3 times from a traditional orchard, mainly because you can get sunlight at all angles of the tree. The tree is not going to spread its roots too far, and that's why we put them on trellis to hold the tree up. But we're going to go from 44 vegetable harvests a year to 2 apple harvests.
Okay.
So, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a lot more profitable too. I mean, people are paying more for apples than they are for vegetables. They shouldn't, but they do.
Yeah.
And so that's our plan.
Yeah. Well, it's a more specialty, I guess, especially with the Honeycrisp. Yeah. And Fuji was the other. Yeah, was it Fuji and Honeycrisp? Yeah. So that'll be interesting, but very cool. Well, thank you so much for giving us a tour of your operation. You got a lot of really cool and unique things that I think our viewers are going to love seeing. And so we really appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan.